The episode begins with us seeing the leader give a speech before we see a young Taylor and her family as she's complaining that she's stuck at home when her parents are going on a date. And her mother tells her to grow up.
Don't be a victim, nobody likes that.
And then her parents leave, Taylor stays at home with the babysitters, and Taylor ends up watching TV with the babysitters for a little bit. We then cut to Taylor's parents as they are talking cryptically, and they almost run into this confused looking guy on the side of the road. And they offer to give him a friendly ride. Before we cut to Taylor as she hears a noise coming from downstairs. And then we cut to the babysitter land people. And before we cut back to the parents, as the stranger asks for him to pull over so he can use the bathroom, we then see Taylor as she walks out of her room to see what's going on. She sees more people come in before the babysitter mentions how she's supposed to be asleep right now, and Taylor said that they're not supposed to have people over, but the babysitter will simply say,
"Your family."
We then cut back to Taylor's parents as Karen gets out, puts on a mask before grabbing an axe. The stranger notices the mask and pulls out a knife, but Elias hits him with a hatchet and they bag him up. Their parents bring the stranger back home, and Taylor sees this go down as she sneaks downstairs to see what's happening. And then we cut back and we see the speech from the opening of the episode, where we see that there's a newcomer joining the family, and this is a initiation. The new family member sees Taylor, but goes ahead with slitting the guy's throat, and Taylor reacts, and the whole family notices her, and her mom and dad chase after her. Taylor locks herself in the bathroom, and Karen tries to get her to open the door, which she eventually does. And Karen explains to Taylor everything that's going on, and then they will share an embrace, and that's where the episode will end. Episode 2 begins with us seeing someone place the family's mask in a bag with a knife. We then cut to the family as we learn that there's a copycat of them, and Taylor wants to help, but the mother is against it, which the father wants to include Taylor, but does not disagree with Karen. And then Taylor storms out of the room. And then we cut to Taylor where we see her eavesdropping on the conversation that Elias and Karen are having. And they are arguing about if to include Taylor and if she's ready. And we learned that Taylor is only 12 years old. And we learned that the copycat killed a child. We then cut to Taylor as she opens a box to find the family's mask. We see Taylor as she's walking alone at night as she walks over to a house and knocks on the door. And the man answers it, and Taylor lies saying she's locked out of her house. The man lets her in and also lets her use his phone to try to contact her family. But it goes to voicemail. And Taylor said that she can try back in a few minutes, and the guy said that must be scary for her to be out all alone with the killer out there. But Taylor simply says,
I wouldn't want to be the person who did that.
But then there's a knock at the door, and the guy goes to check it out. As the man opens the door, Elias and another guy appears, and Taylor sneaks up behind the guy, and they inform him that they don't kill children. and the guy looks back to see Taylor in her mask before they kill him.
This is gonna be bad.
Elias notices Taylor, and when they get outside, he reprimands her for not doing what he said. And the episode ends with them leaving. We see a grown-up Taylor as she is sneaking into a pool with her friend. We see them go swimming and simply just have a good time. And we see this in a montage before we cut to afterwards as we see Taylor and the guy talking. The guy tells Taylor that he likes her and they almost kiss before a light comes on in the house and they quickly run to hide. So they end up hiding in a pool shed, and Taylor wants to take it to the next level and introduce him to her parents when it's revealed that the whole situation was a trap for Taylor to get her first kill. The guy begs for his life as he tries to convince Taylor not to kill him, and Elias notices this and tries to get Taylor to do it, but she hesitates. And Taylor tried to leave, but Karen grabs her and Elias reprimands her again before he takes the knife and simply stabs him in the chest. And then Elias tried to get Taylor to finish the job. Taylor cannot do it, and she drops the knife before walking outside. And as Taylor runs outside, Elias follows her and he screams at her, telling her that this was all for her. Everything about tonight was for her. And Taylor said that she'll do better. After Elias walks away, Taylor pulls out her phone to call one of her friends and ask if they wanted to come over, and she said that her parents won't be home. Episode 4 begins with a man stopping on the side of the road when a paper airplane shows up and it has the logo of the family on it. And then Elias shows up and we see flashes of him starting to kill the guy. And then Karen also shows up and they take him out before they end up walking off into the night. And it was all the way back in 1982. Now, in present day, we see Taylor and her friends gathered around as one of them was telling that exact same flashback story that we saw. Then JJ from Outer Banks makes a reference he would just kill the guys. And Taylor said that guns are super lame. Anyways, and then he's like, yeah, you're right, because he's super into Taylor. And then they start playing Truth or Dare. And JJ asked Taylor to do 7 minutes in heaven with him. Taylor agrees, and they head off, leaving the rest of them by themselves. We then see JJ and Taylor as she's more aggressive than he thought she would be. And then we cut back to the friend group as the other two friends are making out, leaving the last guy feeling alone. And then Taylor comes out, blood on her face, and she says,
He's dead.
the group doesn't believe her and says that it's not funny, but she's like, yes, it is. And so the one guy walks over to check on JJ, and he confirms that it is real right before the lights go out. And when the lights come on, they discover the girl dead. They quickly tried to run out of the house, but the door is locked. And then, as they are arguing about what to do, Taylor throws a paper airplane and it shows the symbol. Before we see Taylor in her mask as she tilts her head before she stabs the guy in the stomach and he dies before turning to the final kid where she doesn't just murder him. She actually offered him a place in the family, but he makes one grave mistake. He mentions calling the cops, and Taylor didn't like that, so she stabs him multiple times. As Taylor's parents come down, played by different actors because this was the first ever episode shot, so they didn't have the proper actors during this moment, but they say that they're proud of her, and as the carnage is around them, they put on their masks before taking a family photo ending season 1. Hope you all enjoyed that video. Next week I should be doing either The Walking Dead season 1 or The Crow as a recap, so stay tuned for that. I'm not sure which one I'm doing yet, or it could be something completely new that I feel like need to come out before then. And make sure you guys go check out my Instagram account, which I do plan on eventually starting the post again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go check out my Instagram account, and I'll see you all in the next one.